Hello, grade 8. How are you? Hope you and your family are good and in a safe mood. So, today's topic is about Newton's law of motion. Maybe you heard about Newton. What's Newton? Who is Newton? So, today we'll speak about Newton's law of motion. So, in the beginning, I would like to introduce Mr. Newton to you, which is the right picture, not the left one, okay? So, this Newton is a physics scientist who found many theories and rules inside physics, and we are depending on many things on his theories. And the left picture is a football player, and she is playing football inside the stadium. And this is an example of the Newton's law. Stay with me, then you will know which rule is it. We have three laws of motion for Newton. So Newton's laws of motion, maybe you can see this nice ball, and this player is here. Okay, he wants to make a goal. So how can he make the goal? He has to kick the ball. Okay, when it is kicking the ball, wow, the ball went. So the ball is going, but how this ball is moving from its place? Here, the ball is in rest. So when unbalanced force acting on the stable force, it acts to move. So this is Newton's first law of motion then. Newton's first law of motion says an object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains at constant speed, which is in motion, in a straight line, unless acted on by unbalanced force. So, when an unbalanced force is acting on a stable force object, the object is moving. Like these balls here, maybe you saw this phenomena, this material, this game. When you put a force, when you push this one, this ball number 1 and ball number 2, and so on. So when you push ball number 1, the force which is on the number 1 will be divided to number 2, 3, 4, and 5. By this way, all the balls will get force and they are moving. So if there is no out force and unbalanced force acting on the object will stay and remain at rest. So this is an example of objects at rest. Right one is a golf ball. Here, if there is no player to kick the ball to go, that it's not going unstable. And this is a nice picture. The left one, the potato on the sofa, picture number 1. Maybe most of you are like this one, watching movies, playing video games, and eating. That's it. So be careful, don't be fat. Okay, objects in motion. So this is a nice example actually. Number 1 is object in rest. Number 2 is object in motion. But how this object is on motion? When unbalanced force, which is number 3, is acting on it, okay? It is moving. Then the planets are in motion always, and if there is no force to stop them, it's not stopping. Be careful, okay? And this game, this picture, right picture, maybe you have played this game and you went to the park and you know how is it. So first it is rest, second time it is moving, and again it is becoming rest. How? By using force, which is force of friction. So you know, you like these games, I think. So this is friction between the tire and the ground for the car, and this is what we explain it. So picture number 1 and picture number 2, which one has more mass? Of course you will say picture number 2, the car. So inertia is the opposite force of any object to move. When we will add 5 Newton force on second picture, which is the car, it is not moving. But when we put the same amount of force for picture number 1, which is the bicycle, it is moving. Why? Because inertia in picture 1, which is the bicycle, is less than inertia of the car. That's why you can move the bicycle easily than the car. And look at the right picture, which is the stone. So one of you wants and tries to move the stone. Can you? Of course no. So Newton's second law of motion. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of force applied. Okay, picture number 1, right, and picture number 2, left. So you are going to the malls and you have this to take the foot inside it. Then if there is more mass, you need to force more. And if there is less mass inside it, you have to use less force. So this is what Newton's second rule of motion is explaining. And the last one is Newton's third law of motion. It says whenever one object exerts a force on a second object exerts an equal and opposite force to the first one. It is like action and reaction. So my action is telling you do the homeworks and watch these videos, and you are doing it, so you'll get the benefit. If you don't watch these videos, you are not getting the knowledge. Like this picture number 1, and this nice animation picture number 2. Okay, when you hit the ground, it again you are going up and down. So at the end, your homework is give 3 examples for each Newton's law in our daily life, and I will send you some useful links. At the end, thanks for watching and hope you're doing great with your holiday. Hope to see you again in the school.